That's what's going on in Dubai. But let's come home. Let's bring this closer home now. And Jeffrey, you want to do the honors?
Exactly, yes. So we're talking Dubai, but here our own authorities have started warning us that if we don't want to see what's happening around the world when it comes to flooding and all of that, we need to be cautious. And they've sent out this forecast as to what is expected to happen in the coming days. So we've been joined on the program by the Director General of the Nigeria Hydrological Services Agency, Mr. Clement Nze. He joins us from our Abuja studio. Mr. Nze, thank you so much for coming on the program.
Thank you so much. Nice to be here again.
Walk us through what we are headed to, or what we should be preparing for, because we've seen what's happening in the Gulf state, and everybody is now clearly worried for those who have the opportunity to see what's happening there. Flooding is not new to us at all. We've been around this as far as the country has existed, but time and again the authorities have come to warn. How severe are we expected to see this year's flooding, and what can be done as soon as possible?
Okay, thank you so much. God forbid, Nigeria's situation will not be like that of Dubai. However, we have come, on air to make a public presentation of what is likely to happen in the course of the year 2024. According to our prediction, in the course of the year 2024, even starting from the month of April up to November, that no less than 148 local government areas in Nigeria, cutting across 31 states, will suffer severe flooding incidents in the course of the year. And additional 249 local governments in 36 states and FCT will suffer moderate flooding incidents. Well, just like what you see, being reported from Dubai, one couldn't have expected such a thing should happen there. The issue of climate change is there, that even locations you may say it will be moderate in terms of flooding in Nigeria might turn out to become high-risk locations. The Honorable Minister of Water Resources, Engineer Professor Joseph Usef, on Tuesday, 16th of April, unveiled the document. Names of the states were listed. And then the document spelled out exactly those locations in Nigeria in the course of the year that could be flooded. And this has been disseminated to the state governors to take proactive measures ahead of time so that we don't get caught pants down. So we're expecting that there will be similar to what happened in 2023, but we don't pray to be like 2022, which was the highest so far in the history of this nation in terms of flooding incident and the destruction that took place in 2022. As usual, it is never our desire as an agency that what we say in terms of destructions that might happen should come to pass. But rather, when we give out this warning as early as possible, it is intended that the necessary action should be taken by various tiers of government and individuals to ensure that the impact is reduced. Flooding cannot be, stopped by any man, so long as rainfall is there. But what we are talking about is the disasters associated with the flooding. Action could be taken to ensure that it doesn't occur, or it will be minimized. At the end of the day, we normally take our record, take stock to confirm what we predicted and what actually happened. But unfortunately, our predictions have been coming through. And according to the World Meteorological Organization, such predictions that are about 75% accurate are said to be a very good prediction. But by our actions, we can reduce that percentage of accuracy of the prediction. So let us take certain actions now. before the rents actually get established across the country.
And it just naturally flows into the next question. Just in case, let's just imagine in some extreme reality that some state governors or those who are tasked with the responsibility are not aware of this and what they need to do. Can you just walk us through what some of those proactive measures should look like? Again, I imagine that all of them know, but let's again we don't want to take anything for granted. What should those proactive measures look like? So we can start, if we've not started already, we can start from today.
First of all, that's what we are doing here already, courtesy of Channels Television. Enlightenment is one of them. That we should begin to enlighten our citizens about possibility of some degree of flooding that will take place in the course of the enlightenment of the citizens. Like I said, the state governors have been informed. This should be cascaded down to the local government area, to the communities where this actually occurs. Another measure that could be taken, you know, after each rainy season and flooding season, you will see the signature of flood. You see it on the walls of our buildings. You will see it on the trees, by the highways, by our waterways. Those flood marks tell you that this is within the territory of flood. It could be that no encroachment should take place within this perimeter. What am I saying? Structures that are within the flood plain should be removed. People living within the flood plains, whether they are doing business there, in terms of farming activities, or even erecting structures in those places, they should be relocated ahead of time. We should deseat our canals, our drainages. You know, each flooding season comes with debris, rubbish carried from here and there and deposited, blocking our waterways in the cities. This is the right time to deseat our manholes. Like we see what is happening in Abuja. The FCT administration has been doing a lot of work in terms of carrying out remedial works immediately after the flooding season. Then and again, there are locations in Nigeria where this flood must always occur. The issue of developing adaptation measures, developing resilience, government should do a lot to, increase people's resilience, ability to adapt to this situation. I was in Bayelsa State in 2022. You can see the kind of structure they are building, houses they were building by the state government, so that the first floors were raised up certain meters above the natural ground level, so that in the event of excess flood that will occur, there is no way flood will get to that level of the first floor of the buildings. So let us begin to develop some adaptation measures in our built environment where we do our businesses, and then we should do a lot to help people to come back to normal life after each flooding season. So this is what the measure that could be taken ahead of time. You don't need to begin to consult drainages in the month of August, especially within the Delta region or the southern part of Nigeria. You should build such drainage systems as early as possible. Clear the drainages ahead of time before the rainy season sets in. These are some of the measures that could be taken even now.
I would like to find out exactly what your agency is doing besides awareness that we're talking about, to make sure that all of this is adhered to, because there's one thing to have information, is another thing to implement this information. So that's the question. But before that, I want to reel out, for the benefit of our audience, you said 148 local government areas. They are in the following states. So for the benefit of the audience, these are the states, according to the authorities, that will be affected: Adamawa, Akwa Ibom, Anambra, Bauchi, Bayelsa, Benue, Borno, Cross River, Delta, Ebonyi, Edo, Imo. Jigawa, Kaduna, Kano, Katsina, Kebbi, Kogi, Kwara, Lagos, Nasarawa, Niger, Ogun, Ondo, Oyo, Plateau, Rivers, Sokoto, Taraba, and Yobe State. So in terms of enforcement, because sometimes until people see these things before they start, taking action, your services as well as the other regulatory authority or people that monitor these spaces, what are you doing to ensure that both at the at the state and local government levels, even at the community level, there's enforcement? Because we need to help people stay alive and ensure that their livelihood is not washed away by flood.
Okay, thank you so much. My agency, our mandate is to a large extent advisory. In the sense that we have done the prediction, we have made it public, we have been able to translate it into 3 major languages in Nigeria. We will be carrying out a sensation program in some locations. We will gather some states together, inform them, we visit some locations to inform them. This is what we have predicted. So in other words, we do after the prediction which has been made public, and apart from using various social media, including television, radio, print media, to popularize what we have done, we'll visit as many locations we can visit to sensitize them. But largely, to a large extent, we expect the decentralized governments that have various apparatus that have been equipped by law to take the major measures to enlighten the people. In the FCT, for instance, FCT, where we are, you have development control. You have AEP, the Environmental Protection Board. There are several of them here in even the state management agencies. They are doing a lot of work in Abuja, even to the grassroots. They have developed the capacities of communities. They have what they call vanguards. They have tank criers. Community heads have been sensitized by the FCT administration. Since each state government in Nigeria has its own state emergency management agency, we expect that they should demonstrate whatever we have said and take it down to the grassroots. What are their town planning authorities doing in the states? The Ministry of Environment, Water Resources, and so on and so forth, at the state levels, what are they doing? Now, it is at the federal level that we have the agencies of government that are predicting weather. Earlier in the year, the Nigerian Meteorological Agency, NIHSA, came on air to inform the nation about the onset and cessation days of rainfall in the country, the amount of rainfall to expect. Our agency, the Nigerian Hydrological Service Agency, just 2 days ago, went public to translate some weather parameters we know in Nigeria, the geology of Nigeria, water, the river systems in Nigeria, the topography, land use pattern, all kinds of things we use in our, in our prediction to come up with our own report. I don't think there's any state in Nigeria that forecasts weather or flood. It's at the federal level. This has been done and been communicated to the state governments. They should join forces with the federal government to ensure that the citizens at community levels are safe in the course of the year.
Right. So I'd like to again draw inference from what happened or what is happening in the Gulf states. We can always learn from those incidents, and it's important to, from time to time, do such. So what we had there was a year's worth of rain came down in just hours. So what was expected in 12 months came down in just hours. And I mean, just thinking of that alone, you can imagine the quantum and seeing the images. So maybe tell us again, these predictions, would we see something, is it possible we'll see something worse because they didn't see this coming and it just came in a few hours. So is there a possibility that what we would experience in Nigeria might even be worse? We don't pray for that, but just prepare us for worst case scenario. Can it be worse than what you have predicted? I'm not sure you got that, Mr.
Like I'm...
Okay,
yes, could it be worse than what we predicted?
Yes.
Now, we see what we are doing is science. Human beings trying to, to see ahead what lies before him. We are trying to investigate nature. Like what happened in Dubai and Oman. Maybe they didn't see what happened, that it was coming as he did eventually. We do the best we can to interrogate nature and then make some pronouncements. Like we all sing it about the issue of climate change. It might go below what we have said. It might go above it. That is why by the time we get into the rainy season proper and the flooding season, we'll be giving updates on weekly basis and telling people this is what is going to happen within this period of time. But having made the prediction, made it public, it is always better to err on the side of caution. Be over-prepared. You will lose nothing if you prepare so well that it's going to flood, the place is going to be flooded, and it doesn't happen. It is better that you do that. So we can't say that it might be greater than what we have predicted, or it will be less than what we predicted. I remember in 2018, one of the states we didn't mention as being at high-risk flood incident in the course of the year was the first, and that was is that in Jigawa? Sorry, it was Katsina State in 2018. That was the first state in Nigeria to fall victim to flood incidents.
Right. Okay.
So what we are saying is not to prepare us. It could be higher, it could be less.
Understandably, but I want to quickly put this in as we wind down quickly in less than a minute. So the term cloud seeding has come up yet again, and a lot of people are researching what does cloud seeding mean, even though the government there says that's not what is causing the floods. Is that something we also do in Nigeria, cloud seeding?
Well, I haven't seen it or read about it in literature to have taken place in Nigeria, cloud seeding. In fact, there was a hilarious statement that somebody made yesterday, looking for those who can stop rains or who claim that they have powers to stop rains, to move over from Nigeria to Dubai to go and stop the rains there. Now, cloud seeding is often done within the arid zones, locations that do not receive enough rainfall for various uses. It's science. Something you can, inject into the atmosphere all kinds of elements that will now coagulate the cloud, the properties, the materials that are in the atmosphere. They begin to come down in form of rain. I'm saying it is often locations that don't experience enough rainfall in the year that you can do that. In Dubai, everywhere is paved. Many places is an arid zone, quite all right, but the kind of development that is taking place in Dubai, the issue of pavement of many locations also will make it difficult for percolation to take place, infiltration. And everything will be overland flow.
Almost, thank you so much, Mr. Clement Nze, Director General of the Nigeria Hydrological Services Agency, for bringing us this update as well as the awareness you're created. And it appears as well that we must also be prepared inevitably for some people that will be affected. We just pray that lives will not be lost. That's what's most important. Thank you, sir, for coming on the program.
Thank you for having me.
We will shift gears now when we come back after this break. We did tell you to check what the prices are on whatever you buy around your area, in the supermarkets or wherever you shop, because we'll be talking about that in just a moment. The FCCPC, that long name, the person in charge is going to be talking to us on why the dollar is losing the fight against the naira, yet the prices are still up there. What are they doing about it? They've said they want to do something about it. We'll find out what exactly they're up to. Join us again.